Hello, my name is Darren Thomas, and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at different ways that you can arrange the seats in your classroom. Again, this video was targeted mostly towards new teachers and maybe experienced teachers who need a little bit more of a reminder or refresher on some basic ideas. So let's get started. All right. Now, it can be more complicated than this, but there are essentially 4 different ways that you can set up the seats or the desk in your classroom. Rows, full circle, half circle, and of course groups or even pairs. Now, in the lower right hand corner, you can see our first example here, that's rows. This is the traditional way to set up a classroom. We are all familiar with this as students, where you're sitting in rows and you're facing the teacher who's at the whiteboard or the chalkboard, wherever you're at in the world, and you're getting your information in that manner. So some of the benefits of rows is that it's a traditional style of setting up a classroom. In other words, students almost kind of expect that. Even if it's not the best way in every situation, they're used to it, they anticipate it, they know how to conduct themselves in that kind of a setting. Rows are also beneficial for conducting individual work. So tests, quizzes, whatever requires the student to be 100% focused on their own individual task, rows are an excellent go-to arrangement of your classroom in those situations. Rows are also beneficial because it's a platform for providing teacher-centered instruction, which is kind of my last bullet there. And so all the eyes are on you, hopefully, and you are able to provide the students with information or knowledge that they need, either in terms of content or directions to complete a task. So often you might start your class in rows to provide instruction as an example, and then after you provide the students with the instructions that they need to be successful, you can break them into another style of seating in order to accomplish the task. Now, of course, every style of seating has its pros and its cons, and some of the challenges with rows is, of course, discussion. And something that's really important, in my opinion, to have fruitful and beneficial instruction for students is that eye contact. And unfortunately, when all the students are facing the teacher, it's hard for them to interact and to see each other when they're talking, sharing opinions and points, etc. So it takes away from the richness of the discussion in many situations. Also, because rows are such an expectation in education, it can quickly become boring, because students are used to it, and of course boredom can lead to behavioral problems. So again, we don't want to criticize this style of seating because it has its time and its place, but these are the pros and the cons. Another style of seating that you will often see in a classroom is a full circle. So again, if you look down into the lower right hand corner, you can see we have all the students sitting around here in a circle. Just pretend those little red things are desks as an example. And so the full circle is great for discussion. It's great for interaction because you have that eye contact that you can take advantage of in order to allow students to share their opinions. Now, of course, one challenge with this style of seating is, of course, now the teacher has really had to step back in terms of their leadership position. And so you're going to have problems with students doing individual work. And also there might be some behavioral challenges as students are able to interact and see each other. Now, of course, another interesting thing that I found from working with students in a full circle is that because everybody can see each other, sometimes that can help to temper behavioral problems because a particular student does not want to be the center of the whole class, but just the center of the teacher's attention when they're being disruptive. Again, this is not the case every single time. So you can see here that with the full circle, what you gain in discussion interaction, you lose in terms of output of individual work. It's very difficult for students to get things done in a full circle if it's beyond discussion, interaction, critical thinking type skills. If you want them to do something concrete, they're going to have a hard time focusing, at least in my own personal experience as a teacher. The next one, again, is our half circle, or you can say a U shape, whichever one you want. And this one kind of provides the best of both worlds of the rows, in which you can have complete control of leading the discussion interaction, and the full circle, where maybe you might lose too much control over the interaction and discussion. With the half circle, the teacher can kind of stand at the open part of the circle or the U and lead the discussion while the students are also able to have the eye contact and interact with each other in the classroom. So like you can see with the second bullet, the teacher can lead, and you can also still provide instruction in this particular format. So this is my preferred go-to style of setting up my classroom when I need to lead discussions in like critical thinking type classes and other classes that are discussion rich in nature. Also, if you look at the third bullet under pros, provide instruction, even when I need to lecture, I will use this half circle because I've noticed that it helps my students to stay awake and engaged, even if they're not participating in a discussion per se. Just that half circle allowing me to be closer to them and helping them to stay focused on whatever I need to share. And of course, some of the cons here, similar to the full circle, is sometimes it's hard to get individual work done because of the opportunity for interaction and discussion, more so with younger kids than with older kids. And also it might be difficult to focus at times on your individual work. So again, every style of seating has its situation in which is unique. So if you need to do discussion, interaction, if you want to pull opinions from the students, the half circle, the full circle is the way to go. If you want them to focus more on their work and their content, if you want to focus more on providing instruction and limit interaction, there is a place for rows, as I mentioned earlier. Now our last one is just a group seating. And so there's different ways you could do that. You could put them in groups of more than 2 people, like if you look at the picture in the lower right-hand corner there off to the left, or you could just put them working with pairs, which is the picture in the lower right-hand corner to the right. And so the pros, of course, of group seating is, of course, interaction. There's lots of synergy. For the extrovert students, for the social type students, this is where it's at. The chance to be around friends and talk and discuss, etc., whatever they need to do. Also, you're able to have large amounts of group output from a group. So something that they need to do together. And of course, a group setting is where they're able to accomplish that. And of course, to provide it for you to submit, or to mark or to grade. But of course, there are also cons. When you put kids in groups, this might be the most challenging situation in terms of monitoring behavior. When kids are in groups, often they lose complete focus on the task at hand and they just enjoy each other socially, which can be a major problem. Also, because they're all in groups and they're all spread out all over the classroom, it's difficult for them to interact with the teacher. So if they need a lot of individual support, it could be very difficult to get that to them in a group setting when you're just trying to make sure all the groups are on task. So it can be very, very challenging. So with these 4 types that we looked at here, it is important to remember that every single style of seating arrangement has its time and its place. There are times where the rows are appropriate. There are times when half circle is appropriate, where the group seating is appropriate, or the half circle, whatever. They all have their place. And ultimately, how you set up your classroom is a combination of the learning style or the learning preferences of your students and your own personal teaching preferences and teaching style. These two have to meet in the middle so that both parties, of course, can be successful. And keeping that in mind, you need to be aware of your options and the strengths and the weaknesses of these different styles of seating. So in conclusion, there are essentially, 4 ways that you can set up your classroom. You can set it up in rows, you can set it up in a circle, half circle, or U-shape, and also in groups. Which one you choose, again, depends on various factors. No one style is superior to the other. It all depends on the context you're facing as a teacher and the problems you're trying to solve. So, my name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Thank you so much for watching and take care.